Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I am. Is there anything I need to do? Sorry, I got it. Great. Hello, my name is Zach Parker, and today I'd like to talk to you about Snazz.it. Snazz.it is a social catalog where users post or discover unique and trendy products while it automatically finds you the best price. The problem is right now, users have a really hard time because they have to go through the internet, find the best product with the best reviews, perfect for what they need. And of course, they don't want to search the internet for that best price, but they want it. And for retailers, currently, there are very few insights or analytics that really let them know how their products are doing, if they're being shared, tagged, or what price point people are willing to pay. The solution is Snazz.it, an online forum where people can post, follow stores. They can we can set price alerts. We can do all sorts of things that really help both the user as well as the retailer. What really sets us apart and we're really proud of is the price comparison tool. When you post a product or when you click on a product, what happens is you get to see everywhere on the internet, Snazz.it pulls it, where this item is on the internet, as well as the lowest price it's being sold for. You can at that point click through, you can buy it from that website, or if it's a little too much, you can set an alert at a price point you're willing to pay, and Snazz.it will come back and go ahead and let you know that it's dropped to that price and you can buy it at that time. For the retailer, the solution currently, you can know who's following you and what items have been tagged. But in the near future, what we're able to do for our premium retailers are we'll be able to give them tons of analytics, everything that they currently don't have. The way things are being shared, tagged, eventually geographic and demographic location as to where that product is doing well. Because it's very difficult right now for retailers to have assumptions as to where their product's going and how really to stock it. We were founded in June of 2012. We just recently added 2 co-founders in December, and we launched our beta version that same month. We just recently added the ability to tag products from Snazz.it onto Facebook, and in less than 2 weeks we acquired over 200 users. User acquisition, obviously extremely important for us. We are very well prepared professional marketers, so we're going to go through everything through blogs, forums, eventually search engine optimization as well as paid search to go after our ideal consumer, a heavy internet user who is ready to make purchases. We understand that we have competition and we know what they do very well, but we don't consider these ventures competitors simply because they don't have the price tool that really sets us apart and the analytics that we think is going to be industry leading. Currently, we're seeing that we have a little over 140 million internet shoppers right now in the United States. In 2014, eMarketer says we'll have around 162 million, and we want a slice of that pie. Right now, we're focused purely on the United States, but we have the potential one day, rather, to be an international company. Our target market are retailers who post $12,000 to $100,000 in annual profits, and currently we have around 200,000 internet retailers within that market. Our revenue model is very simple. We want to charge retailers $45 a month to give them all the insights we have. Our goal is to have 40,000 retailer stores by 2018, or 20% of today's current market, with a total 5-year projected revenue of 66 million or profit of $27.5 million. Our expenses are laid out fairly well in these projections. In 2014, we project $6.6 million of expenses. In 2015, $9.9 million, where it'll stay through 2018. So we'll be operating at a loss in 2014 and 15, but we'll have a revenue growth we're projecting at 150% through 2017 and stable 125% growth in 2018. We would like to raise $500,000. Our pre-money evaluation right now is at $1.5 million, and we want to go for future rounds of $3 million. Up to date, our founders have invested slightly over $23,000 into Snazz.it. Our management team includes myself, our CEO, Ahmed. We have a web developer named Evo. Our board of advisors include Michelle Rubish from the Rainier Group, as well as Magid Zar of the Getty Image. Our use of funding will go almost exclusively to team expansion and product creation because we know that this is what it's going to take to lead the industry and to really bring Snazz.it into what we want it to become, which is that social catalog that can dominate and truly help both retailers and consumers. The question to be asked is, why is Snazz.it uniquely positioned to be one of the top social catalogs online? We have an extensive background in retail and online marketing. We have an ability to develop features and get users' feedback out to them very quickly. We have a clear focus on the commerce angle of the social product discovery as opposed to all of our indirect competition that does not. And lastly, we have an extremely flexible program and dynamic team prepared to meet the needs of the online consumer. Thank you.
Okay, comments for Zach?
How much time was still
How much
left?
time was that?
10 seconds.
Oh,
Seconds.
so it was right.
Right on time.
We've kind of seen a couple of these today. The fonts in your slides and some of the specific slides, like the one that had marketing in the middle,
Yes.
are very hard to read. The
Oh,
marketing
okay.
one, all of the boxes around it, I couldn't read any of the words in them because there's not enough difference between the white font and the colors.
Oh, okay. That's really good to know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big concern of ours, so we weren't too sure. It was difficult to figure that out exactly.
And the other thing, and this is a general comment pretty much everyone gets. You have an awful lot of words on your slide, like this one here. You don't have a lot of time. You really need to punch the message out. So I would suggest you take a look at these and boil them down to the very critical thing that you need to get across.
Okay. No, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm going to build on that. What you said, pretty much everything that's on the slide, and that's okay because then we're focusing on you.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we're reading it. And if it just said, our background, and then you're the one that says, our background is in retail and online marketing, then we're focusing on you instead of the slide.
No, and
which is what you want.
And that's great to really focus on those bullet points. Thank you.
I think, like, for me, when I see something like this, I immediately become critical and think, okay, well, there's got to be competition that, does something similar. And you dressed it kind of, you're like, the price, whatever you call it, the price.
The price comparison tool.
Yeah, price comparison tool. But I think you almost need, that almost needs to be like almost the whole focus, because you need to really talk about your technology and why, why it's so unique and why none of the other competitors do it, and how powerful it is. Because it's immediately I kind of go, well, I bet there's a lot of other people who do it, or maybe you're not really, maybe it really isn't as unique as it's telling.
No, and I would just, as a quick follow-up question to what you were saying, we had a big debate about this, and I was just wondering, what would you suggest us to drop from the slides in order to fit that in?
Well, if I'm an investor, I mean, that's my number one risk, I feel like, is the technology really unique? And if it's really unique, then I think it makes sense to me that you can get retailers to buy this, buy the analytics, and you can get, people to use the tool. But you've got to prove that the technology is unique.
Okay.
Doesn't make sense to me because the market's so fragmented and crowded. So getting above the noise is a huge risk.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
I mean,
In
you
reference
could
to
have
the
the
in
best
reference to the
product in the
retailers.
universe, and it still doesn't make sense to me that you could be successful just because there's so many other really deep pockets out there that are going to be able to execute just because of this sheer size of their wallets and their ability to make noise in the marketplace.
Okay.
And it's when I go looking for a product today to buy, and I do a search, and then one of the on the first page is always next tag, which gives you blah 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 5 places to buy it. So rather than you were kind of like comparing yourself to everyone, and it's like maybe just do a scenario. Why are you going to be better than me seeing? Okay, I want this product. I want this pair of shoes. I click on next tag, I get 5 stores with the prices, and I go to the cheapest one or whatever. Why are you, and I understand that today, I do that today. Why are you going to be so much better? Why will I want to do yours? You got to hook me on that.
No, I think that makes a lot of
You see
sense.
what I'm saying?
No, I think that makes a lot of sense to really focus and to really
Give
kind of
me
have
a
that
for
compare.
instance.
Because I think she has a really valid concern, and to really kind of post. No, that's
My
good.
comments are down the same road where you're talking about companies don't have any analytics to show where their products are going. I kind of doubt whether that's, or maybe that's what I heard anyways. And then also the price comparison is being the special tool. There's other tools that have been brought up. So focusing on what it is that you do versus highlighting, at least in my mind, what I heard other people are doing.
Okay.
For instance, when you talk about your competitive advantage in here, it says product discovery. And I think it's up there.
Yeah, that was
taglines. Is that the part of your tools that are special? And then, because it really, you didn't
Okay.
address that much
Okay.
other than saying it.
But yeah.
So,
Because Zach, I want to compliment you on you have a nice presentation style.
Thank you.
And you take the questions in stride.
Thank you.
That's refreshing to see what you want to hear.
Yeah, I was thinking about yelling at you guys, but I thought, I don't know how well that's going to go.
How about a couple of things? Have you talked to prospective retailers who might be your customers?
Yes, and when I saw the time going,
then we need to hear about that.
Yes, and I absolutely dropped. The second I ended, I thought, oh, I didn't mention that.
That's huge. And then finally, just one thing on your projection slide, you've got two different colors in a stacked bar chart. That's a little confusing format. It's
was yellow and red.
Yellow and red, but you got it below the line and so forth.
Yeah.
That's not what we're used to seeing. So just put them side by side or something.
Okay. No, that's funny. Yeah.
Okay.
So in addition to the really pulling out what your critical differentiators are or competitive differentiators are, you also, it would be really helpful if you could demonstrate or pull out why you're going to be able to execute against the marketplace.
Okay.
Why you give the investor some confidence that you're going to be able to take those differentiators against a very big marketplace and be successful with their money to make them money.
So maybe kind of stack it in the sense of the competitive advantage, which I really like that idea of instantly segmenting us versus a competitor, and then going into this is what we do, this is how we will progress, and a certain amount of details that would obviously kind of show that confidence.
Exactly.
Okay.
And one of the places that I would do it, these GUS pages are really important. People read them pretty carefully, I think, especially if they're thinking about investing.
Yeah.
So I would change your biography a little bit to make it a little bit more about what you've done and why they should think that you're going to be able to do this again instead of maybe what's on there.
Yeah, and Ahmed is, you're in there twice, and Ahmed is sometimes all lowercase, sometimes he's capitalized, and sometimes your titles are lowercase.
I know nobody knows how to write, nobody knows how to say it. So it's my problem. It's always my problem. So I'm sorry.
No, and that's a very good.
Okay, time for one more comment.
So from two things, did you have in there that your capital is $23,250? Was that?
Yes.
Okay. So from that, and from the fact that you said that you have founders, and then you got more founders like 6 months later, gives me the impression that you guys really haven't done anything at all as far as corporate housekeeping. That I'm questioning whether or not there's an entity set up, if it was done correctly, if your founders actually kind of done, if you have your IP taken care of. So those 2 points, that's what I got out of that, just so.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. So maybe make that almost more brief and then hit on the point.
The way you phrased it, just those are red flags for me, those 2 points, that you've spent $20,000, that can't have paid for much housekeeping, and that you actually said you had founders, and then 8 months later you had more founders. You can't have founders kept at 2 different points in time, because so it just seems to me there's a bit probably under that rock.
No, that's good. No, and no, that's just a language issue. That no, absolutely, that's a very good point to change, and that's a good red flag.
Okay, last comment, David.
Oh, just to be positive for a second, I did like the fact that you, I think, pretty accurately estimated your burn rate going out. Your spend looks pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
On your slides. So at least that didn't red flag me.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you, guys.